Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I want to use this opportunity to welcome you to the Lenny Robbins YouTube channel, Know Your Politics. Let us come together to create a better understanding by watching what politicians do. I gotta come back here today because I've just read something in the Gleaner about a bill being tabled in Parliament, basically to get rid of the monarch. First, it makes to shed itself of the monarch. When I read it, I didn't even go through the details of it in the Gleaner because I know there wouldn't be much information, probably about the time it would take to go through Parliament and the votes it's going to need and clear Senate and clear the House and all of these things. So I didn't go through that because I know that's a process, and that's as much they would be able to tell us in the Gleaner publication. But there are some questions I need to ask, and I'm going back to way back in 62. 1962, the 6th of August, we get our independence. And I like people to tell me, because I've been asking this question for a very long time, and no one can tell me, if we got independence in 1962, what kind of independence we had? What were we independent from? And what stronghold and what obligations we had to England then? What agreement we made with England that they still have a stronghold on us? What sort of control, what sort of political / socio-economic control England had over us after 1962? And it takes me a little couple of years before that, when the Articles of the Independence were actually being drawn up. I wasn't around that time. But I wonder, what was really written in that Articles of Independence? What was really written in it? Because prior to that, we know England was getting a lot of benefit from Jamaica, sociologically and economically. You understand? Banana, coffee, sugar cane. They were getting a lot of benefits from Jamaica, plus money and everything else. So I could understand that time the kind of influence they have on us. But if there comes a time when we now got our independence, what were we independent of? What did they allow us to be independent of, and what level or what were we denied in our independence? Because to this day, no one has attempted to even answer the question. I remember working at King's House. I worked at King's House. Governor General was there. We're still there now. And I worked at King's House. I was a telephone operator at King's House. I may be wrong. They may be things that I don't know. But for me, it is my opinion that the Governor General role was one of a ceremonial thing. It wasn't a matter of him getting involved in politics, directing what must happen, what must not happen. It wasn't a matter of him directing, again, how the economy is going to be treated or operated, or is there a booty to play to England every year and that has to go, that money has to go over no matter what? I mean, I don't know what was behind the scene, but I know from my perspective, his role was more ceremonial than political. So the tabling of the bill again leads me to ask this question. What are we doing here? Why do we have to table a bill to get rid of the monarch if we are independent? Shouldn't this be something that we can do on our own without tabling a bill? Just put it to a referendum or vote in the House and the Senate and say, oh yeah, get rid of the bill, it's done. Shouldn't that be something that easily? Now, if it has to be tabled in Parliament and require votes, confirmation from the Senate and the and the House itself, then there is something I do believe these politicians not telling the nation. And that has been written and hidden from us from the day they started drafting the Article of Independence. Maybe these politicians are also sworn to an NDA and they can't talk about it. They gotta die with that. I read something about Mark Golan in response to the tabling of the document. And here again, that makes things even murkier about this monarch rule of Jamaica, even after independence. An independence that we celebrate every year for over 60 years. Now that surprises me. We are independent, we celebrate it every year for over 60 years, but yet we have to table a document and get approval from both the House and the Senate before that can become a rule. If we are independent, we should be able to do what we want to do. It's our legislation, it's our laws, it's our intention, this is where we want to go. But Mark Golan made another interesting thing. The chances are this bill may not pass, as the constitutional expert for the JLP government mentioned that it won't go through. It won't even get a vote on it until after the next general election. So maybe another 9 months before that happens. So my issue is, Mark Golan is saying that not only should they table the bill that they table for removing Jamaica or getting rid of the monarch, should also include getting rid of the Privy Council, the final Court of Appeal. But I don't know if Mark Golan knows this, or I may be wrong, Mr. Golan, because you're also an English citizen by birth. You were born in England and brought to Jamaica. So I don't know if you are aware of this, sir. I don't know if you're aware of it, but I can tell you that the Privy Council itself, the Privy Council is not a... Did we sign an article of agreement that we are an article of a membership to the Privy Council, that yes, we are a member of the Privy Council and they are our final Court of Appeal? Because as far as I can remember, that is a voluntary thing. Taking court cases to the Privy Council is a privilege handed to us, left open for us to utilize or not to utilize. So the question of you fussing and fighting about getting it on that bill, and it must happen the same time with the bill that is tabled to get rid of the monarch before we move to the CCJ, doesn't make sense to me. If that makes sense, then Mr. Golan, you probably can come enlighten us on it, sir, enlighten Jamaica. Because I'm still yet to see what kind of independence Jamaica really had from England, that we have to table a bill to find out, to get rid of certain things, or certain aspect of them. Because what aspect of the monarch is still ruling us? I don't know. And in what way, we don't know, but we have to file a political paper to get that done. And even to get rid of the CCJ, we have to put it in a table it to Parliament. I mean, this is, if we really want to get it, all we need to do, if we are an independent country, just get it done. Take a vote in the House, in Parliament, and we have a referendum, the citizens vote, and it's over. But what I noticed, sir, that politicians of the day has utilized this whole slavery, backward master, plantation master, oppression and brutality that was heaped upon us as black people. And because we jump at the conclusion and the idea of getting rid of them have nothing to do with them, was fine. It's fine with us. Politicians are hiding behind that. But I'm throwing this out there. I do believe there's something far more sinister behind all of this independent thing that they are not telling us about. Because my question is, sir, if we were still under the British or the monarchical rule, why then did our stupid politicians during 1962 did not make the decision to keep the pound rather than to create a own Jamaican currency? If Britain, if England was still running Jamaica, we're still under the monarchical rule, why didn't they keep the pound? Because our economy would be stronger with the pound. But why did they not keep it? Why did they move away from the pound and then create the Jamaica dollars? And look at where they both are today. There's something you people and politicians are not telling the nation, and people, one of my thing here is to really open the eyes of people on these little matters, because it's important to think and be critical about some of the things that the politicians are making. Because as far as I'm concerned, like I said initially indicated, as far as I'm concerned, I said I don't think the Privy Council are locked in where we're an articled member of the Privy Council. You understand? Where we have to get approval from Parliament before we can send off our document to them and say, okay, yeah, we're done with the Privy Council and we're done with the monarch. Then there was no independence in a real way for us then, if so be the case. Because from my understanding, we can go to the CCJ right tomorrow morning. We have joined the CCJ and become a member of the CCJ. And we can take a case to them. The Privy Council in England was a privilege given to us. It was an option. Not even a privilege, it was an option. We use it if we want. If we don't, that's fine. Does anyone ever stop to think you cannot be a member of the CCJ and still utilize the Privy Council? Why is it such a problem? Ladies, it's a problem because ladies and gentlemen, it is a problem because politicians just need to have their own way when it comes to certain things. Notice they don't give control of certain things or any real knowledge about certain things they're doing. They won't. So as people, as citizens, sometimes for our own interests, we need to keep a balance with them. Why can't they become a member of the CCJ and still keep the Privy Council just in case? With the understanding that if you take a case to CCJ, whatever the rulings are, it's final. And if you take a case to the Privy Council, whatever the rulings are, it's final. Rulings, final. We understand that. You can't move from the Privy Council, from the CCJ and take it to Privy Council, or from the Privy Council to the CCJ. No, it is final. We're a member of the two Privy Council cases. One you have to definitely join. Another Prime Minister, Andrew Holness, mentioned that Jamaica is not yet ready to join. The Minister of Constitutional, who's constitutional expert, Marlene Malawi Fort, you understand? Mentioned that that bill won't even be voted on for the next 9 months. And this is counting on them winning the election. This is counting on JLP winning the election. So whether or not they win the election, I don't know. She's going to guarantee it will be voted on them. The 9 months I would even be up for debate for the next 9 months. I don't know. But it's critical. It's very critical that we stop and think about these things. These things really don't hit the radar of a lot of people. But it's important. It is important. Very, very. I did an article posting earlier about some $3 trillion that has been unaccounted for during this current and present administration, the Andrew Holness administration. $3 trillion Jamaican dollars has been unaccounted for. Am I to think that this $3 trillion is money that went back to England? Because we were not economically free from England, we still owe them, paying them for what? What could that be? And why did it take us so long to even pay them? What were we paying for? It is, ladies and gentlemen, the politics of the day comes down to one thing, that we as citizens, we got to start watch what politicians do, and we have to listen, look and learn, begin to take it serious. Like I said, and I always say this, it is our existence that is challenged. It is our existence that is threatened. It is our existence that is on the line. It is our children's existence, our grandchildren's lives that is on the line, and their children too. Existence is threatened, not us alone. We can help to prepare, make way for a better Jamaica for the next generation who can do a lot better with it. But we have to lead the way to make sure these politicians stop, look and listen at what we have to say. They are not our employers. We employ them. So it's time for us as employers to speak to the employees and let them know exactly what you're employed to do. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, welcome to the Lennie Robbins YouTube show. I say let us all come together, know your politics. Let's come together and create a better understanding. None of us know it all. We can all come together and uplift and enlighten and educate each other. Watch what they do, people. It's important more now than ever. Again, Lennie Robbins. Over and out. I see this video. Don't be afraid to subscribe to it. Don't be afraid to share your likes. Don't be afraid to share your comment. Share it. Do whatever you want to do with it. And even if you want to give it a thumbs down, I'll be happy, because and just state why. Because that can make my thing a lot better, make us clearer with what we need to talk about, and exchange ideas in a better flow. Yeah, in a better way. Ladies and gentlemen, again, thanks very much. I want to say blessings this evening to all Jamaicans, and wherever you are, home and abroad. Because none of us has given up on the flag. None of us has given up on the culture. None of us has given up on the country. I know Jamaicans, we love our country. Doesn't matter where in the world we are, we love our country. So be blessed, stay strong, and God be with you all. One love.